Whatever is filling your hands right now can wait a little longer because I am speaking, and I am speaking to you. Not to the whole world in a general way, but to you in this exact moment, because you are the one I came to find tonight. I am not here to frighten you. I am here to prepare you. And there is a real difference between the two that I need you to understand before we go any further. Fear makes you freeze in place. Preparation makes you move. Everything I tell you tonight is meant to move you forward, not to trap you where you stand. Something has been forming quietly around your life, hidden behind the ordinary rhythm of your days. You may feel like nothing unusual is happening, that this is simply another evening, like any other. But beneath what looks calm, there are patterns shifting, and I would rather show them to you now than let you walk into them unaware. I am not silent in your life, and I have never been distant from what troubles you, even when it felt that way. I am stepping closer tonight because I love you too deeply to let you drift through this season without warning. This is a moment where your attention matters more than it has in a long while. I know how tired you are. I know how full your days have become and how little room is left inside you for anything that asks for stillness. That is exactly why I am not asking for hours from you tonight. I am asking for your attention fully given, even if only for a little while. You have felt a quiet pull to stay here rather than move on to whatever comes next. Do not brush that feeling aside. It did not appear by accident. It is part of how I reach you gently in the places where you still have room left to listen. There are choices sitting in front of you that look small but carry more weight than you realize. A direction you are leaning toward, a person you are trusting, a habit you stopped questioning long ago. Any of these could be quietly leading you away from the peace I want for you. I am not asking you to live afraid of every decision. I am asking you to live awake. When you walk awake, you notice what others miss. You catch the small warning signs before they grow into something you cannot undo. That awareness is not a weight I am placing on you. It is a gift I am handing you because I would rather you see trouble early than face it unprepared. There is a difference between being warned and being punished. And I need you to hold on to that difference tonight. A warning is not a judgment against you. It is an act of care spoken before the danger arrives. So you still have the power to choose a different path. You still have time. You still have the strength to step away from what could cost you your peace. That is why I am asking you not to rush forward tonight without thinking things through. Slow down. Breathe. Look again at what you are about to walk into because a second look often reveals what the first one missed entirely. There are people close to you whose intentions are not always what they appear to be on the surface. I am asking you to watch what people do over time, not only what they say in a single moment. Truth reveals itself slowly, and if you stay patient, you will begin to see it clearly. Trust the quiet sense inside you that tells you when something feels wrong. That sense was not placed in you by accident. And if these Bible-centered messages have encouraged your walk with Christ, we invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs biblical hope today. If this ministry has blessed your life and you would like to help us continue sharing scripture-centered encouragement around the world, you can support the ministry through the link provided below. It is one of the ways I speak to you, softer than words, yet just as real. When it rises within you, do not talk yourself out of it before you have truly listened. I want you to remain strong tonight, not shaken by what I am telling you. This is not about living in fear of every shadow that crosses your path. It is about walking in wisdom because wisdom keeps you steady when everything around you feels uncertain. A person who walks in wisdom is not easily misled and does not fall into traps set without their knowledge. You are protected. But protection is not something that only happens to you from the outside. It is something you take part in through the choices you make and the warnings you choose to hear tonight. Every step you take with awareness strengthens the path in front of you and lowers the risk of what could otherwise catch you off guard. Do not ignore what you are feeling in this moment. That quiet sense that something here matters is not something to wave away. It is part of how I am guiding you toward understanding even when the whole picture is not yet clear to you. Stay with me a little longer because there is more I need you to hear tonight. I have watched you carry burdens that were never meant to be carried alone. I have watched you push forward on days when your strength had already run out, telling yourself that stopping was not an option. Tonight, I am telling you that stopping to listen is not weakness. It is the beginning of the very protection you have been asking me for without even knowing how to put it into words. There is a kind of danger that does not arrive with noise or warning signs that anyone can point to. It arrives disguised as comfort, as something familiar, as a small choice that seems harmless enough on its own. That is why so many people walk past it without ever noticing what it cost them until much later. I would rather you see it now while there is still room to turn. You're not standing here by accident tonight. Out of everything you could have been doing in this moment, you are here listening. And that alone tells me something in you was ready to hear this. I do not waste moments like this one. I have been preparing this conversation for longer than you know, waiting for the exact time when your heart would be open enough to receive it without turning away in fear. So hold on to what I tell you tonight. Carry it with you when you walk away from this moment and return to the noise of your ordinary life. What feels like a quiet warning now may be the very thing that saves you from a harder road later. And I would rather give you this gift while it can still change your direction. Speak your amen out loud if you would rather walk in readiness than be caught by surprise. I have been waiting for you to answer me, and I want you to understand what that truly means. I am not speaking of a perfect reply or a confident declaration. I am not speaking of words spoken loudly or prayers formed with the right phrases. I am speaking of your heart turning toward me. Even slightly, even weakly, even while you are still unsure of what you believe, I have waited for that moment with patience, not frustration. There have been many times when I called to you softly, not with thunder, but with a whisper meant to reach the quiet places inside you. I spoke through thoughts that rose up when you least expected them. I spoke through moments of stillness that felt uncomfortable because you were not used to slowing down long enough to notice them. You did not stay quiet because you did not care. Your silence was never rejection. It was tiredness, so deep that even listening felt like one more task you did not have strength for. You were carrying more than anyone around you realized, and when a person is that tired, even love can feel far away. I have always known this about you, and it never once pushed me back. There were nights when you felt a sudden urge to pray, but did not know what words to use. I was there in every one of those moments. I did not turn away when you hesitated. I understood that your silence was not stubbornness, it was exhaustion. And exhaustion is not something I hold against you. I have watched you struggle with your own thoughts. I have seen how confusion made you doubt whether you were truly hearing me or simply imagining things out of longing. I have seen how fear made you hesitate, afraid of what listening might ask of you. None of that pushed me further away. It drew me closer because love does not rush a weary heart, and love does not demand more from someone who is already giving everything they have. Your name has not been forgotten in all of this. Your life has not gone unnoticed. Your silence did not slip past me without care. There were moments when I held back paths that were not ready for you yet. Moments when I slowed things down so you would not walk into something before you were prepared for it. I was not absent during your silence. I was quietly guarding you inside of it. There were times you believed you had missed your chance, that you had waited too long or should have responded sooner. Hear me clearly now. You did not miss me. I do not work on the kind of deadlines you fear I do. I am not easily offended by hesitation, and I am not quick to withdraw because someone needed more time. I am faithful, and faithfulness waits without resentment. You have wrestled with the fear of disappointing me, and that fear made you pull back at times, believing you needed everything figured out before you could come to me honestly. But I never ask you for certainty. I ask you for honesty. I never ask for a perfect answer. I ask for your presence exactly as it is, even when it is unsure and even when it is tired. When you did not answer, I did not turn my face away from you. I leaned in closer, waiting for the moment you would feel safe enough to respond without fear of being judged for how long it took. You may not realize how many times I quietly protected you during your silence, how many paths I slowed, how many moments I covered with grace because I knew your heart was worn thin. I hear the quiet cry of your heart that no one else around you hears. I hear it because it rises from a place deeper than words, deeper than the thoughts you allow yourself to show to others. People close to you see your strength and your composure. I see what lives beneath that surface. I see the ache that returns when the noise of the day finally fades and the room grows still. There are nights when your body is tired, but your mind refuses to rest. You replay conversations, decisions, and moments you wish you could take back. You wonder if you said too much or too little. If you waited too long or moved too fast in those moments when you feel most alone with your own thoughts, I am there with you, closer than the silence that surrounds you. In that hour, you have prayed prayers that never made it past your lips. You have formed sentences in your heart and stopped before finishing them, unsure how the ending should go. You have wanted to ask me why, but feared what the answer might stir up inside you. Those unfinished prayers did not disappear into nothing. They reached me whole because I hear what the heart says, even when the mouth stays silent. You have felt lonely in ways that others around you did not understand, not always because you were physically alone, but because you felt unseen, even in a room full of people. That loneliness did not mean you were forgotten. It meant your heart was longing for a depth the world around you could not give. I want you to hear that clearly tonight because it matters more than you know. Every tear you have cried in private, the ones that came without warning and surprised you with how deeply they came from, was not wasted. Each one was noticed. Each one was gathered and remembered. None of them fell to the ground unseen. You have never cried alone, even in the moments when it felt that way more than any other truth you knew. You have wondered more than once if anyone truly knows you beyond what you show them. If anyone sees past the version of you that keeps everything running smoothly. Hear me now. I know you completely. I know your fears and your hopes in the same breath. I know your questions, and I know the faith you keep returning to even after you have doubted it. There is nothing hidden from me and nothing about you that causes me to turn away. You do not need to carry this alone anymore. You do not need to wonder if your pain has mattered or question whether your tears were seen by anyone who cared. I am here with you now, exactly as I have been with you through every quiet season before this one. I am not distant from your struggle. I am present inside of it, ready to bring comfort, ready to bring peace. Ready to remind you that you are known completely and loved without condition. Whisper your amen if you believe I am already moving on your behalf tonight. My child, I am asking you to place a portion of what you have, something of real weight, upon the altar of this work, as gold laid on the scales of this calling. Let it be a seed sown into deep water, an offering set on stone, not held back in fear. This is proof that your trust rests in my hand to provide and that your heart no longer clings to lack. What you release in faith does not leave your life. It moves ahead of you into the harvest I am preparing. Now hear me on something else that matters just as much tonight. There are people in your life whose intentions may not be as pure as they appear on the surface. You may trust them fully and you may believe they hold your best interests close to their heart. I'm asking you to look beyond their words and watch their actions instead because truth reveals itself slowly. And if you pay attention, you will begin to notice what feels right and what does not sit well with you. There is a pattern in your life that has been repeating itself and it has not been serving you well. You may have noticed it already even if you have not fully faced it yet. That pattern shows up most clearly in how you respond when something feels uncertain or difficult. Instead of stepping back to reflect, you often move forward quickly, hoping things will resolve on their own without your involvement. Tonight is the moment to break that pattern and respond differently than you have before. When you pause and take a moment to reflect before acting, you begin to see beyond the surface of a situation. You start to notice what is truly there instead of only what you hope is there. This is how you protect yourself from harm that hides behind good appearances. Reflection is not weakness, it is strength, because it allows you to make decisions rooted in truth rather than in impulse or in the pressure of the moment. There is someone connected to your life who may not fully understand your worth. Their actions may not be openly harmful, but they carry a lack of care that could slowly wear down your peace if you let it continue unchecked. You may feel a quiet doubt around them at times, a small hesitation you have not fully trusted yet. That doubt is worth paying attention to. It is guiding you to look a little deeper than you have so far. You do not need to confront everything all at once, but you do need to become more aware of what you allow into the space around you. You deserve to spend your time in places that support your growth and protect your peace rather than constantly adjusting yourself to fit somewhere that does not honor who you truly are. Your peace is valuable, and it must be protected the same way you would protect anything else you consider precious. This is a moment for you to begin setting limits around what you allow into your life. Not out of coldness, but out of care for the parts of yourself that need protecting. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about preserving what matters most inside of you. There is also a decision related to your future that you have been carrying in your mind for some time now. It may involve work or a relationship or a direction you have been quietly considering. You have weighed your options carefully, yet something inside you has not fully settled into peace about it. That lack of settled peace is not something to push aside. It is a signal that you need to look deeper before you move forward with confidence. What is truly right for your life will stand firm even when you take the time to consider it carefully. If something feels like it demands an answer immediately, without room for reflection, it may not be aligned with what is best for you in the long run. I am asking you to slow down and allow understanding to arrive before you act. Because when you move with clarity, you avoid the kind of loss that comes from moving too fast. There is a strength growing within you through this entire process, whether you feel it yet or not. Each time you choose awareness over impulse, you become steadier and more grounded in who you are. You begin to trust yourself in a deeper way, and that trust will guide you through decisions in ways that are difficult to explain but powerful to live through once you experience them for yourself. You are not being asked to withdraw from the people around you or to close yourself off from life. You are being asked to move through your days with a deeper kind of awareness, one that notices what is real and does not settle for what only looks safe on the surface. When you look at your current path honestly, ask yourself if the choices you're making are leading you toward peace or quietly pulling you toward confusion instead. When something is right for you, it brings a quiet sense of alignment inside you, even when it is still difficult. When something is wrong for you, it brings a subtle discomfort that grows the longer you ignore it, and the discomfort is what you must not push aside. Learn to notice the difference between the two, because that difference will guide more decisions than you realize over the months ahead. There is also something within your daily habits that needs your attention now. It may seem small, something you have done for so long that you no longer think much about it. But even small habits shape your direction in powerful ways over time. What you repeat becomes your path, and your path determines where you eventually end up standing. Look closely at what you allow into your everyday rhythm, because real change always begins with what you choose to do consistently. Listen carefully now, because it is no accident that you are here tonight, still listening after everything I have already said. You made the right choice by staying with these words, because nothing happens by chance when I am working in your life. I am the one who creates paths where none seemed to exist before. I am the one who lifts what has fallen and restores what looked permanently lost. I have seen your tears. I have heard the prayers you never said out loud. I have watched your nights of worry when you wondered if I was truly listening to you at all. Tonight I am telling you plainly, yes, I hear you. Yes, I see you. And I am here now to respond to what you have been carrying for so long without any relief in sight. Those who wait on me will not be left ashamed, because I renew the strength of the weary and rebuild what once seemed permanently broken. My desire is to bless you and to bless those you love so fully that your story will no longer read the way it once did. But hear this too, because I am a God of love, and I am also a God of order and truth. Stay close to my voice, because the path toward what I am about to give you opens wider the longer you remain attentive to it. Watch closely for what I am preparing to do, because provision is already on its way to meet a need that is felt impossible to solve on your own. This will not come through your own strength or your own effort. It will come directly from my hand. I am opening what has been closed and showing you that there is no limit for the one who continues to believe in me, even when the waiting has stretched on longer than expected. This provision will be strong enough to bring real relief to your home. It will not only cover what you need right now, it will begin uprooting the scarcity that has followed you for far too long, the kind that has made you feel like you were always one step behind no matter how hard you worked. I am not a God who gives halfway. I finish what I start, and I bring to completion everything I have already promised you. Because of your faith, your quiet devotion, and the way you have kept showing up even when it was hard, things are beginning to shift in your favor in ways you have not yet known. What was closed will start to open. What seemed lifeless will begin to stir again. I am sending a fresh wind across your life, and this is your season of renewal. Even if your eyes still see only what looks unfinished, even if your hands have not yet received everything you have hoped for, I assure you that I am already working in what you cannot see. Soon you will witness it take shape in front of you. Do not lose heart, because I am never late, and I do not forget the promises I have made to you, no matter how long they have taken to unfold in your life so far. I also hear your longing for rest, real rest, not the kind that comes in short bursts between one obligation and the next. Your strength has been worn thin, and your heart has carried more than it should have had to carry alone. I am not a God who overlooks the tiredness of the ones I love. I give rest to those who seek me, and I renew those who feel like they have nothing left to give. I hear your longing for a simpler way to move through your days, for comfort in the ordinary parts of your life that have felt harder than they should. I have not overlooked these desires, even the ones you have never spoken out loud to another person. I see the small, quiet wishes as clearly as I see the large ones. I am the one who multiplies what is small into something that is enough. I took a few loaves and a handful of fish and made them more than enough for a crowd that should have gone hungry that day. I have not lost that ability. I will multiply what you have been given, no matter how little it looks right now. Do not be afraid of small beginnings, because in my hands little becomes much, and what feels limited becomes more than enough. The years you spent sowing in tears were not wasted, even when it felt like nothing was growing from them. Every prayer, every quiet act of faithfulness, every moment you kept believing when everything around you argued against it, is bringing forth a harvest. Now it is time to gather what you sowed with patience. Because I have seen every small act of faith you offered, and I have kept each one in my memory. I am healing what has been wounded inside you. I am strengthening your heart so you do not give up when the road grows long again. I am renewing your mind so you begin to think beyond the limits you once accepted as permanent. I do not want you moving forward while dragging chains behind you. I want you moving forward, light, free, and steady, trusting that nothing standing in front of you is too much for me to handle. Do not be afraid to enjoy the good things that come to you in this season. Every smile, every quiet moment of joy, every deep breath you take without tension in your chest is a gift I am placing into your hands. You are allowed to rejoice. You are allowed to rest without guilt. You have walked in faith through a long stretch of difficulty, and I am faithful to reward the ones who kept believing even when believing was hard. I am not a man who lies, and I am not one who changes his mind once a promise has been spoken. What I say, I bring to pass. What I promise, I follow through on completely. In this new season, I am opening for you. Every step forward will remind you that I open doors that were once closed, that I multiply what little you had left, and that I honor the perseverance you have carried quietly for so long without anyone noticing. So do not doubt what I am telling you tonight, and do not think it is too much for you to receive. If you stay rooted in my word and keep my voice close to your heart, I will make sure you lack nothing you truly need. What I am giving you in this season of rest, provision, and renewal is only the beginning of what I intend to do in the days that are still ahead of you. I am also bringing new connections into your life. People I am sending to walk beside you as a blessing along your path. They will not arrive by accident, and they will not appear by random chance. I am placing them near you because they are part of what I am doing to fulfill my purpose for your life in this season. Just as I am bringing the right people closer, I am also separating you from those who never truly wished you well. I am loosening ties with relationships that have been draining your energy without giving anything back. I am closing doors to connections that offered you nothing but a heavier load to carry. I want you walking through your days, surrounded by peace, not by exhaustion. The time when you carried the weight of feeling small around certain people is coming to an end, and you will begin to see your own worth confirmed in ways you have not felt in a long while. I will remind you of who you truly are in me. I will remind you that you were not created for failure or for a life lived on the sidelines, but to reflect something greater in every part of your days. No more doubting your worth. No more carrying the weight of words others have spoken over you that were never true. I am the one who formed you with purpose, and my plan for your life will outlast every doubt that has tried to take root in your heart. What was hidden from you is beginning to be revealed. You have walked through long stretches of silence and unanswered questions. But understand this: every silence was part of preparation. While you believed nothing was happening, I was arranging what you could not yet see. While you thought everything had stopped moving, I was laying down foundations strong enough to hold what I'm about to give you. I am here to change the direction of your story. What once caused you shame will become a reason for quiet honor. What once looked like a loss will turn into something you gain through the process, even if you cannot see how yet. I will make your presence felt in places where you were once overlooked. I am placing something in you that will open doors, build trust, and bring recognition you did not chase after but received simply for staying faithful. The season you are entering is one of real growth, and it will not stay confined to only one part of your life. You will see change in what you hold in your hands, but you will also see change in how you carry yourself, how you understand what has happened to you, and how clearly you begin to see the road ahead. What confused you before will start to make sense because I will give you the understanding you need at the exact moment you need it. I will guide you step by step, and you will not be left to stumble through uncertainty on your own. I go ahead of you, clearing what needs to be cleared before you even reach it. I am opening doors to places you have never been before, to opportunities you never let yourself imagine, and to paths that others assumed were shut forever. What I hand you will not feel like a burden. It will feel like a freedom you have been waiting for without knowing its name. In the middle of everything I am giving you in this season, remember that the key to walking through it well is keeping your trust fixed on me. Do not hold tightly to what I have already released from your hands. Look ahead because that is where I am unfolding what comes next. Do not retreat in fear, and do not let the doubts of people around you talk you out of the path I have set in front of you. Remember the promise I once spoke through the ancient words, the ones that still hold true tonight. I am doing a new thing. It is already springing up. Do you not see it forming even now? I am making a way through the wilderness, and rivers are rising in places that were once dry ground for far too long. That same promise belongs to you tonight, exactly as it did to the ones who first heard it centuries ago. You will see paths appear where there were none before. You will see provision arrive where there was once only emptiness. You will see fulfillment settle into places where only promises once waited quietly to be kept. Everything I have spoken tonight is not simply words meant to comfort you. For an hour, you will see it take shape in your own life, clearly enough that there will be no room left for doubt about where it came from. I am awakening things in you that have stayed hidden for far too long, gifts that felt dormant but were never truly gone. You will rise with a fresh kind of wisdom, ideas that do not come from your own effort alone, but from what I place within you when you stay close to me. This is a season of acceleration. What once took years to unfold will now happen in a fraction of that time because I have decided that this is the moment to reveal my faithfulness to you in a way you cannot mistake for coincidence. Do not think any of this is too big for you to receive. Is there anything that is impossible for the one who created the heavens and gave breath to every living being? Do not limit what I am able to do simply because your doubts have grown loud lately. What feels like a distant hope tonight will become something you can hold in your hands before long. And you will remember this exact moment as the night everything quietly began to turn. Those who once watched you struggle will watch you rise. Those who knew you in seasons of scarcity will witness your abundance. And when this happens, you will know without question that my word does not fail, that my promises hold their shape, and that my faithfulness toward you has never once wavered, even during the years it felt otherwise to you. Declare your Amen where you stand. If you are ready to receive everything I have spoken over your life tonight, I want to be honest with you about something before we come to the end of this message together. I am a God of love, and everything I have told you tonight flows from that love, but I am also a God of order and truth. And that means what I have shared with you is not meant to be heard once and then forgotten by morning. Hold on to it. Let it settle into you rather than slipping away the moment your day picks back up again. There is a warning I want to leave with you clearly. Guard what you reveal, and guard who you reveal it to. There are things you have shared freely in the past that were later used in ways you never expected or intended. That does not mean you should close yourself off from everyone around you. It means you should pay closer attention to where your trust lands from this point forward, because not every space deserves the fullness of what you carry inside. Pay attention to how your body reacts to the people and places around you, because it often tells you the truth before your mind has fully caught up to it. Some rooms bring a quiet ease the moment you enter them. Others bring a tightness you cannot quite explain in words. Learn to trust those signals because they are part of how I keep you alert to what is safe and what is not. Even when the reasons are not immediately clear to you, when this season of pressure eventually lifts, and it will lift, do not go back to the way you were living before it began. That is the exact moment where many people lose what they gained through the difficulty. They begin to feel steady again, and quietly they return to the same habits that left them empty in the first place. Stay just as aware after the storm has passed as you were while you were still standing inside of it. There is a strength inside you that has not fully stepped forward yet, one that this season is drawing out of you whether you feel it happening or not. That part of you is steady. It is wise. It is far more capable than you have given yourself credit for up until now. You have walked through difficult seasons before, and you came through them carrying more resilience than you realized you had at the time. What feels heavy right now will become a testimony of your strength later on. You will describe this season to someone one day, and you will be surprised by how steady your voice sounds when the words finally come out. Do not doubt your ability to make the right choices when you remain aligned with what is true. You are more capable than you think. And you are never without guidance while you keep listening the way you are listening right now. I am with you as you move through everything ahead of you. My guidance is not distant or unclear. It shows up in the thoughts that bring you sudden clarity and in the feelings that quietly steer you away from what is not right for you. You are not being left to figure this out entirely on your own. What you need to know is being revealed to you gradually in the timing that fits you best. As you continue to stay open and willing to listen, there is also a part of you that has been doubting your own instincts for longer than you would like to admit. You have felt something was not right in certain moments, and instead of trusting that feeling, you questioned yourself and moved forward. Anyway, that doubt has kept you from fully trusting the guidance already living inside of you. It is time to release that doubt tonight and begin trusting what you feel, because that inner sense was never meant to mislead you. It was placed there to protect you. You are being invited to strengthen your awareness in every part of your life, not so you live in suspicion of everyone and everything around you, but so you remain present enough to notice what truly matters. When you are present, you notice what others overlook entirely. You recognize shifts in behavior, changes in energy, and small signals that something needs your attention before it grows into something larger. This kind of awareness becomes a shield around you, quietly, helping you avoid the kind of loss that so often arrives without warning. There is also a need for you to protect your peace more carefully than you have been. You have allowed certain things to disturb your mind and your emotions, even when they did not deserve that much of your attention in the first place. Not everything requires a reaction from you. Not everything deserves the energy you have been giving it. Learning to step back and remain calm in the face of small distractions will keep you grounded when it matters most. When your mind stays clear, your decisions become stronger and your steadiness becomes something other people notice. Even when you are not trying to prove anything to anyone, this is the shield I have been building around you through every part of tonight's message, one piece at a time, so that when pressure rises again, you will already know how to stand steady inside of it instead of being shaken by it. The way you once were. Hear me now as I bring this to a close, because what I say in these final moments is what I want you carrying with you when the room goes quiet again, and this message fades into the background of your evening. Nothing you have heard tonight was accidental. Every word was chosen for exactly where you are standing right now in this season with everything you are currently carrying. You are not the same as you were when this message began. Something inside you has already shifted. Even if you cannot fully name what changed yet, what once felt unclear is becoming steady in your mind. And that steadiness is part of your protection going forward. When your mind stays steady, your decisions are not easily shaken by pressure or by the noise of people trying to pull you in a different direction than the one meant for you. You are learning to stand still inside yourself before you move forward in the world around you. And that is a quiet kind of strength most people never take the time to build. There is a strength inside you that has not fully stepped forward yet. But this season is drawing it out piece by piece. Whether you notice it happening in the moment or only recognize it later when you look back on everything you walk through, I want you to release any fear that has been building inside you while you listen. Tonight, what I have shared with you is not something unstoppable or overwhelming. It is something that can be met with awareness and wise choices, one decision at a time. You are not powerless in any part of this. You have more say over what happens next than you may currently believe, especially now that you are choosing to move forward with open eyes instead of walking through your days half asleep. Fear does not move you forward. Understanding does. And you have gathered a great deal of understanding tonight, more than you had when you first sat down to listen. Carry it gently. Do not rush to apply all of it at once. Let it settle into you the way rain settles slowly into dry ground, soaking in rather than running off before it has the chance to reach the roots underneath. There is still more that will unfold in the days ahead of you, more than what could be covered in a single message like this one. But you are far better prepared to face it now than you were before tonight began. What you have heard here is already shaping your path in a quiet, steady way. You are no longer moving through your life blindly, and that alone changes the shape of everything that comes next for you. I am not leaving you the moment this message ends. I am not stepping back the second the words stop. My presence stays with you in the ordinary hours of tomorrow, in the decisions you will face this week, in the quiet moments when you wonder if any of this was real. It was real. I was speaking and you were listening, and that is enough to begin changing the direction of your story. You are loved beyond what you have allowed yourself to fully believe. You are seen in the moments you thought no one was watching. You are held even when the ground beneath you has felt unsteady. Whatever you carry into tomorrow, carry it knowing that you are not walking through it without me. I go ahead of you. I stand beside you and I remain behind you, covering what you cannot see coming on your own. Stay close to the truth you have received tonight. Do not let the busyness of tomorrow talk you out of what has just settled into your heart. Let this be the moment your story begins to turn. Not because everything changes overnight, but because you finally stop long enough to listen. I know you may still have questions I did not answer tonight. I know there are parts of your life that still feel uncertain even after everything I have spoken over you. That uncertainty does not mean I have failed to hear you. It means some things are still unfolding on a timeline only I can fully see. Trust that the same faithfulness that brought you to this exact moment will continue to carry you through whatever waits on the other side of tonight. You have spent a long time believing you had to hold everything together by yourself, that if you loosened your grip even slightly, everything would fall apart around you. I'm asking you to loosen that grip tonight, not because you are weak, but because you are never meant to carry all of it alone in the first place. Let me hold what is too heavy for your hands. That is not a failure on your part. That is exactly what I am here for. When you wake tomorrow, you may feel the pull to forget everything you heard tonight, to let the ordinary noise of your day drown it out, the way it has drowned out other quiet moments before. Resist that pull. Return to these words when you need them again. Speak them over yourself on the days when doubt feels louder than faith. What was true tonight will still be true next week, and it will still be true a year from now, because my faithfulness does not change with the calendar. You are standing at the beginning of something, not the end of it. Whatever felt heavy walking into this message, you are not carrying it the same way walking out of it. Let that shift continue to grow inside you long after this message has ended and your day has returned to its usual pace. Remember this moment. Remember that you stopped, that you listened, and that you chose to receive what I was offering instead of letting it pass by unnoticed like so many quiet moments before it. That choice matters more than you know right now. It is the kind of choice that, looking back, you will recognize as the exact place where everything slowly began to turn towards something better. The ones you love, the ones you carry in your prayers without always saying their names out loud, will feel the difference this season makes in you, even before you find the words to explain what changed. Let that be part of what this night becomes for you. Not just a private comfort, but a quiet strength that reaches beyond you into the lives of the people you care for most. If you have heard my voice tonight and are choosing to walk forward in trust rather than fear, say your amen now and carry it with you into whatever the morning brings. And if these Bible-centered messages have encouraged your walk with Christ, we invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs biblical hope today. If this ministry has blessed your life, and you would like to help us continue sharing scripture-centered encouragement around the world, you can support the ministry through the link provided below. God bless you.